LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. You know where you're at. This is Inspire Nation. I'm Robert Murray, and I'm here with a couple friends today. I want you guys to stand in solidarity. I love you so much. There's a narrative trying to be pushed by main media, and we want to make sure that they're being correct and you're getting the right information. This is Truckers Against Mandates. We're here with my friend Robert Forsyth in Canada, and then my friend James Toller here in the U.S. We're going to be working together on getting this convoy going here in the U.S. So first, introduce yourself, Robert. How you doing? Where are you coming from?
Well, I live in Squamish, BC, so we're just north of Vancouver, here in Canada. Father of two boys. I have a loving wife, Kimberly Beck, and our boys are 11 and 13. We've been sort of sitting here for 2 years, just trying to twiddling our thumbs, trying to figure out, waiting for the powers that be to give us the answers that we're asking for, and it's just getting a little bit frustrated. So we've been a lot more vocal the past little while. I have concerns for my child. He's 11. He's about to turn 12. They're changing laws. They're making all sorts of things that don't make any sense. Our freedoms, what I would call our freedoms, are sort of been playing around with, and we're told that these are what's the word for it? I can't. I'll come back to it. Yeah. Yeah, basically it's just a dad, they grow food, a carpenter, construction, build homes, try to make a living, don't really ask too much, don't travel, haven't been traveling very much. So it's been really interesting seeing how stressed the rest of the world has been, and how stressed our Canadians and fellow citizens around the world are. And I think this movement has a huge potential for taking a big chunk out of oppression, world oppression, and famine and hunger. And this is the one thing that the truckers in Canada are I think that it's not the message that's getting out there as much, but the message I'm hearing clearly is that it's time for this type of tyranny to end, and we need to band together. Yeah, so I'm here just to participate. James is kind of the guy that I'm here to talk to, kind of see what he's got going on, because he's sort of the next step in the next evolution of what's going on here in Canada from my eyes.
James, we know you, but introduce yourself again. James, how are you? Where are you at?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Robert. I'm here in Kentucky, Lexington, Georgetown area here in Kentucky, down I-75, 64 corridor. I've been an activist now for the trucking industry, and not only for the trucking industry, but just for everybody in general for like the last 5 years. Just doing anything and everything that's the right thing to do. I'm in it, and I'm doing it, and I'm standing up for it. So
that's amazing. You guys are so great. So I've got this United in Solidarity here at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and make us even screen now that we're through the introductions here. So we can have a conversation. But at the bottom here, the Facebook link, you guys, is United We Stand in Solidarity 2022. Is that Facebook link still active? Because I know there was some crap going on, James. Is that still active?
Yeah, that one's still active. We've actually got about 5 or 6 actually going now. That way we don't generate a lot of people in each one of them. It seems like once you hit a threshold of, maybe 110,000, they start to looking and saying, you know what, we got to get rid of this group, and they delete them. So we're trying to keep all the groups kind of low down, and things like that. One thing that's different, kind of like with that, is that's an actual page on Facebook versus an actual group on Facebook. So there's a little bit of more leniency when it comes to a page than a group and things like that. So it's just another way to maybe gather and get around everything.
So what we're talking about here, James and Robert, you guys can back me up here. What do we mean? Why am I worried about whether that link is still working? What is Facebook doing? What is media doing? What happened with this 700,000 person in this 10 million GoFundMe? Can you guys please, somebody fill me in? What's going on?
Go ahead first, James, if you want. I could give my message. It'd probably take up like 10 minutes. It's pretty core.
Well, yeah, no, like here in the U.S., I mean, I know I've seen what happened, in Canada with the GoFundMe and their big group at first and things like that. But right here in the U.S., we had one of our big groups to be deleted off of Facebook once it hit about 110,000 people. And then not only that, 2 of the actual administrators on that page, their personal page, got deleted as well. It's censorship at its finest when it comes to Facebook at that point. They don't, obviously Facebook don't want to see everybody's freedoms being restored. They want to see the government to keep taking it and things like that. So that's kind of why things are happening like it is right here in the U.S. And I'll let Robert there speak for Canada on that side.
Oh, well, okay, so on around January 15th, when the mandates came to be in Canada here for the truckers got a little bit organized and they started a couple of Facebook groups. I watched a group literally in less than 15 days, in 2 weeks. It was the 29th of January. My dad's that passed on, I guess 16 years now. His birthday would have been the 29th of January. So I was pretty upset already. And I was just like, got onto Facebook. I was like, holy, this group just hit 700,000. And then and I was like, these are beautiful pictures. This is like, they're showing like live footage down there on the ground. These are pictures of, people that are caring. They don't look like they're out there to cause trouble. They're just really upset about, sitting around for 2 years waiting for answers and not getting any. And then, boom, the group was gone. And I was like, what the heck? And then literally the next day, another group formed, and it was already around 100,000 people. It jumped up to 600,000. Tons of posts were done, and then boom, it was gone. And literally there was 2 or 3 groups that were forming with 600,000 plus people, like literally 600,000 people. And then Facebook was dropping them. And what was worse, which is even worse, is that I guess Facebook gives us a bit more accreditation to certain news outlets. And then because they have this accreditation, Facebook's fact checkers are able to flag our posts with those with those checks, like going to basically a false I guess you could say post from one of these news broadcasts, and then they could discredit our posts and then make it them flagged. But the past couple of days, it's been weird. I'll post something on the community, which is usually supposed to go spread out a call for help for your community, asking for support for writing letters to our MLAs, asking for support to writing letters to our general governor, to our health officers and so forth, to start putting this stuff on public record, right? Like I wrote personally to all of these members of parliament and even our councillors, our Squamish Nation leaders, everybody, so that at least our questions that haven't been answered are on public record. And that post, I would get screenshots from people saying it says it's not available, content not available. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then I noticed that certain keywords, if you post the keyword, you'll get basically a warning saying it's not allowed to post this. And then today, I've been shadow banned from certain groups that I would regularly be posting in. And yeah, like right now, it's so weird. Because they keep deleting groups, like I'm going right back on I'm actually on my news feed right now. You can even pop up the screen that I shared over to you. And you can see on my news feed that there's content that was shared by different people 7 times from my personal page that was on there, no problem. And now I don't even know what it is, because they've actually said it's my personal post, and now it's not available. It's not even a share. And some like something like this with a small link down here seems to do better with Facebook, where they don't block it if it's coming from a third party like Google Docs. But if it comes from, say, Instagram, or comes from almost any other account to Facebook, they're eliminating the share option. And then, so not only are they limiting how many people are seeing these things, like even this one link that I made here, but it's quite intense. But like this kind of pictures is what I've been posting, and like this is a lawyer here that's willing to help out anybody that gets tickets during the protests for free. This type of stuff. A lot of our posts aren't getting segregated. This is a really interesting one, surprisingly enough. So this is the crimes against humanity Nuremberg 2.0 case that's taking place in the UK. I think is it Michael Yeaton is his name, I think. Yeah, Michael Yeaton. He's one of the the scientists there, and there's a whole group of people that put in court on December 6th in the International Court of Crimes against Humanity, and they actually had their hearing, their first day, on on Friday. And if you click this link, it's not even available anywhere on Facebook, anywhere in Google. Like, you can hunt like no tomorrow for Nuremberg 2.0 and you won't find it. You have to go through like DuckDuckGo or some other search engine, which I've been finding some actually really reliable search engines. But here, if you go down, you can actually click this link here, and it'll take you to a full broadcast of the where are we here?
Just to be clear, is this the banner that's up here? Is this the link tree? Is this what you're looking at right now?
No. So this is actually one of the first links on the link tree, and this is the court proceedings that are taking place. You got to go to about 10 minutes.
Yeah, so you guys look in the comments and look on the post on Facebook, and you'll get a link to the link tree that's actually clickable, and you can.
Yeah, here, I'll show the link tree first. So this is the link tree that basically one of the guys on Clubhouse was like, listen, Rob, you got a lot of information. We've been collecting too many links. We need to do something. And I'm like, well, what do I do? How do I put this all in one spot, right? And basically, he sent me this link tree. And I said, well, what do you mean? He says, well, just find a name. I'm like, what kind of a name? And he actually gave me this name. He says, Take Action Human. This is what you should use because this is what you're all about. So it just started off with a few different links. Inside here, this is a link that'll take you to the actual court case that's not getting covered. You go down further. This is a letter that I've submitted personally, and probably several hundred people as well, to our Governor General and to other members of Congress. Free education. People are really spending a lot of time and getting stressed out, but they're not spending any time learning. So I've been trying to get people to look at Stanford University, MIT. All these are links to free education so that people can get educated. And I'm actually going to be working on another whole section, which will be about history, and then another whole section which will be health related, and then another whole section that is going to be actually more along the lines of this learning with search engines that can give you access to thousands of books and literally for free, because the idea is knowledge should be free. And if you go down, you'll see state of the world. This gives you like nutrition reports. There's some stuff from the European Medicine Agency, from the World Council of Health, different health guides. And then in here, we got some letters that we've been sending off to different people, sample letters to the different agencies. Down in here, this one's going to catch people really off guard here. This is a science technology area, and I've posted 60 free videos of free energy devices. So you're going to pop up with this link here, and you're going to be able to go down, and you're going to see air-powered motors that could be running our transport vehicles, so that we're not having to burn and consume fuel. Magnetic motors that have been put into vehicles for mobility, that like the Volkswagen, that literally has no battery and no power, no need for gas or fuel whatsoever. So I basically put that one together in there because and that's only one of our collections. My friends, a couple of groups of friends that I have, there's thousands of videos out there that like stuff that would be on the news or the TV before the internet was really pumping. So there's just no real record of it anymore.
Really quickly here, Robert.
Yeah.
This is what we're looking at right now, just to catch people up that are just now pulling in. First, say hi in the comments and where you're coming from, and join us anytime. Yeah, Fran is here from Clubhouse. She's amazing. We know Fran. She's awesome. She's doing a great job moderating on Clubhouse. But you guys can go to either my Facebook page or the comments here to get the link to that link tree, which is also scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And that's what we're looking at right now. And we're talking with James Toller and Robert Forsyth about the Truckers Against Mandates. So please, we're just trying to get a correct narrative. I do want to just go ahead if you want to say some more about that, Robert. Otherwise, I wanted to kind of talk about the GoFundMe when you're done with that there and what's been going on with that.
Yeah, so the GoFundMe, that one was quite interesting. Basically, because the mainstream media was able to pick and choose their like what they wanted to show people. It was quite interesting. Like they weren't filming anything live. They were literally filming scenes specifically, and then picking and choosing their stories, and then going with that narrative, I guess because they were able to create that narrative, the government was able to cause this fund to get shut down, or at least paused. And then I remember watching the videos of the organizers of the event here in Canada, working with lawyers, and they did a press release and stuff saying, they got all these accountants and stuff that are working with providing the information that's been requested of them to show that there's no facetious crazy money going, some crazy, like, I don't even know what they're trying to. To be honest, I don't even understand how they could even think that. I mean, I think the largest donation was, I don't remember. It wasn't very much though. It wasn't like there were huge chunks. There's just a lot of donations from smaller people. But anyway, they froze that forever, and then I think they released some of it, something like that, and then they just shut it all down, and then send an auto refund to everybody. And this just was like yesterday, I think, or the day before. So everybody on Facebook that I've seen, they've been going for chargebacks. They're not accepting the refund. They wanted that money to go to the truckers, and they're demanding that action be taken. And I do remember reading that there's must be 3 or 4 American senators, I guess, that are inquiring on behalf of their constituents.
Florida had brought up, this is what I had heard. Florida had brought up an idea basically to sue for fraud on that, and basically GoFundMe refused that fraud case, even though it was for them, but they did get some money released for the people. But tell them what you mean about the chargeback, where it's like basically like if you have an account, like a bank account, and somebody returns you money, like there's like a $45 fee for each time they have to return the charge.
I'm not entirely sure how it works, but I've been reading comments online, and they're suggesting that I guess what happened to Facebook, they pissed off millions of people. So millions of people dumped their stocks, and Facebook went down like 200 and some odd billion dollars in a day. Right. So I think that the cancel culture is real. And when it comes to taking away from people's freedoms and rights, they're really willing to go the extra mile. Right. So I could pretty much say it's a guaranteed thing that a lot of these news agencies are going to lose a lot of subscriptions. And you're going to see that there's going to be a lot more people paying attention to this false narrative that this mainstream media is pumping out there, and they may get their accounts banned from the amount of people that start pumping them. Yeah.
Hey James, you're on mute there. But I was just gonna ask you a question. So there was a date that was March 1st that we had talked about before. Can you explain that date and if it's moved and what that entails?
Yeah. So March 1st, that date is not moved. That is a hard date now. That March 1st, the convoy will be leaving and starting out of California and heading east. There's like 3 or 4 different routes that's been planned and things like that. The only reason everything has not been put out there exactly yet is because they have to get the actual times and the date, that they're going to be at each stop coming out of California and things like that set. And once that happens, then that will be probably released. But March 1st, it looks like they will be leaving California out there and heading east. I do know that Kentucky is one of the stops in this, and I know a lot of people that has contacted me. That is, they said, man, we want to have a big barbecue ready for this convoy whenever they stop. So it's probably going to be a big old party in Kentucky, just like always, with bourbon and things like that. Hey, it's got to be a party, but we will have a barbecue here for everybody that's in that convoy and things like that. So, just be looking for everything coming out here in the next few days about March 1st and all the routes that'll be taken to get to DC.
Excellent. And so I keep my lives pretty short, but we're going to go for a little bit longer here just to stay succinct so people stays on the same page. James and Robert, I wanted you guys to be able to talk a little bit about Robert was bringing up about being prepared as much as possible, like legally and things like that. But I have heard people, James, I have heard some people on Clubhouse mention that they had scheduled a certain time of the week throughout this process of the convoy where they will be like donating their time and their money to bring like food and supplies to the truckers during the convoy. But there's more things that need to be prepared for. Robert Forsyth, you had mentioned something legal, something important. Can you bring it? Can you bring up some ideas you have for preparing for this convoy?
So yeah, so James, we were kind of talking a bit about it off camera when we first hopped on here. Right? We sort of started the conversation. We said, "Hey, let's hold up and let's bring this one out on camera." So I was just sort of looking at some of the things that this convoy has done and what's happening around the world and some of the challenges and the barriers that they're having. And I think you have the time, like because you guys are, set it for March 1st to literally put a lot of your ducks in row so that there's not going to be many complications. And so while we were talking, I was just trying to write down some of those things. So like establishing in each community your traffic control in each community so that you've got those roads are being dealt with. Like I'm talking, you could really go bars none with your tribe of people that are really supporting this movement and get permits for the traffic to flow through these different cities and in on the route. And then on top of that, like having your traffic plan with your first aid, supplies, your food supplies, those chains. But because you guys are truckers bringing in the loads that for normally, let's just totally mess up everything. Let's just totally do something off the wall, like bring a lot of food, hook up with like Mr. Beast and a couple of he's a philanthropist that has food banks that he's been providing for the communities in the United States, all across the United States, and hook up with him and bring his make sure that he's from their end, they can be working on their end with other community-led food bank systems and change the game. Here in Squamish, where I live, we didn't really we started about 7 years ago on a program called Under One Roof. And basically it's one building where we were able to funnel all the money into. And there's apartments upstairs for all walks of life, but downstairs is a grocery store. And literally anybody that's looking for food, no matter how wealthy you are, how poor you are, regardless, you can go in that grocery store and get free food. And so that sort of and this is something that we opened in October of 2020, and it's servicing people, 400, 500 people a week with hot meals, plus the dignity to go into the grocery store, but not have to pay for anything, which is pretty cool, right? And things like that, you guys could be reproducing and start fixing some of the stuff. Like make this a serious effort to re-equalize the food network, because right now people are all freaking out. Oh, I have to leave the city. I have to spread out. I have to change the system. But we know that the Mother Nature will suffer something fierce. Like if we all go out,
what do you?
I don't want to. Yeah,
you're okay.
Maybe I'm crazy.
You're fine. Just give James a chance to respond to that. James, you got a response to what he was talking about there?
No, yeah, the food stuff, I get it, and that has been talked about. Nothing has actually been hammered down in stone in that yet, but that has been talked about. As far as the law enforcement goes, I know that I've talked to a lot of law enforcement as far as in Kentucky, along with the routes and things, and they're like, well, you know what? With a convoy that big, it's going to shut down the interstate anyway. They said, really, there's not much that we can do at that point. They said, but however, we will make sure that we will be along this route, and we will make sure that nobody tries to attack that convoy. Police has been very responsive and all on board with it.
So I was thinking a thing that didn't get done in the Canadian one is two things. They weren't actually able to capture the 600,000 people that are in support and actually get them backing them from home. So letter writing to the municipal councilors, letter writing to the MPs, letter writing to the MLAs, expressing their concerns. There could have been a group effort where literally there's 100,000 letters going to these people explaining that we're not happy, and that's one thing that hasn't happened, which really could happen with the right leadership. And another thing is that they didn't register all these vehicles. Every vehicle should have a sticker, a registration, and that big sticker is put on the back of their vehicle with their number, and that they're part of this new organization of common unity for humanity. And if you register all your vehicles and you're not to I don't know to what degree, but the principle of it is it's not just a sticker, it's a group. and now you're 100,000 or 200,000 strong, right? And I know our Canadian truckers, if things go nice and smooth, which I'm hoping our government, wakes up and realizes that they've been led astray, perhaps they need to watch some live streams, and see how beautiful and coming together this event has been. I mean, there's all walks of life participating. The Native people, the Aboriginal groups, the dark skin colored people, white skin colored people, Caucasian. I mean, there's a big change, and we're coming together. And Canada's always come together, right? I mean, we have 25%, 25%, 25% ethnicity, which is kind of a unique situation for us. But what can really benefit for this is, like, let's start tackling, like, and this is why I keep going back to food. You guys transport it, you don't think about how it affects people, but sometimes the food that's getting transported is really crappy. And when we look at the statistics, we've got like 1.2 billion people on the planet that are considered overweight. I was looking at the world stats today. There's like 800 million people that are considered obese by their doctors. And at the same time, we've got, according to the world stats of 2020 that I was looking at recently, there was 2.7 billion people didn't have access to healthy food, because the people that are organizing the truckers and organizing the distribution of the food are just not doing their job and spreading it out evenly, right? And that was real evident with all the food that we threw away in 2020. So
what is the feeling on the ground in Canada, Robert? Is it peaceful? This is the main thing I want to push when I have these live shows, honestly, is what is happening on the ground? Is it extremist? Is it racist? Or is it peaceful? What's going on in that question?
Well, to be honest, I'm not on the ground. I'm on the other end of the country in British Columbia, right? I'm just south of you, not very far actually from you. Almost like I can actually point a finger with direction to where his house lives, literally. Yeah, like boom, it's right there. It's kind of funny, but all the live video feeds that I've been watching, all the photographs all over, like, the border crossings and in the different capitals of the city, not just in Ottawa, but like all over the place. It looks to me that the majority of the people are being pretty passive. Obviously, if you're getting alcohol and you're always going to be infringing on other people's space, they're going to be choked and there's going to be some kind of confrontation. Ottawa has 1 million people. I'm sure there's plenty of small fringe minority groups there that are just waiting to get their voices heard in such a big movement like this. But let's not get this wrong. This movement is about world freedom, starting with Canada. And that's the reality of it. It's not about anything else.
Robert, we have to say bye to James here. James, is there somebody you wanted to shout out to? I know you got a conference call coming up in a couple of minutes. Anybody you'd like to shout out to, or anything else you'd like to add to the conversation here before we?
Well, I would have to put my shout out to Canada for knocking it out of the ballpark. That's what got everybody inspired here in the U.S.
Oh man, I'm crying. It makes me feel good.
They've done a great job up there, and then also too, I got to give a shout out to all of the citizens of Canada and the U.S. that is standing up and saying, you know what, I want to be a part of this, because that's really and truly what's making it. It's not the truck drivers, it's the people. So I need to give a shout out to all the citizens that's not driving a truck that's still a part of this and standing up for everybody's personal liberties. So I really appreciate that.
I absolutely agree. I muted you for a second to Robert Portis because there's a lot of background noise. But I just want to say that I absolutely agree with you, James. I love you very much. And Canada, we stand by you 100%. We really, really do. And we want to just keep doing these live shows just kind of frequently. I bring James Toller on as much as I can because he's my U.S. guide. And I'm trying to get as many Canadians that are on the ground or even in Canada in the country at all. I would like to get as many Canadians as I can on here during this series just so I can get an honest view of what's happening. But what I think was happening is a good old-fashioned peaceful protest to get our rights back. What I think is happening right now is a nice convoy of truckers saying, hey, we're done with the mandates. fuck off, let's do this, right?
It's not just the truckers anymore. It's the farmers, it's people.
Right.
They're getting in. Like, if it was, it's seriously, if it was not like super cold in Ottawa right now, there would be millions of people there, because I think there's like more people that more people that want to admit that their civil freedoms have been that are now privilege. Like, it's kind of a privilege. But here, like, going on my Facebook the past couple like weeks since this truck thing happened and started, it's been amazing. There's pictures of horses, people like literally like hundreds of people and horses, and it's just makes me remind, like, because I was getting scared. I'm not lying. 2 years into this, I've been starting to get scared. I'm a strong man, and I've been scared. And this is sort of like really brought back. Like, I'm almost emotional right now. I'll see you later. Yeah.
That's okay. So I noticed Robert. James, he's a busy guy. We love you, James. You have some more things probably to show us, some pictures and stuff. We can spend a little bit of time on that if you'd like to. Let's pull you back up on the screen here. You ready to pull that screen back up?
Yeah, you can pull up my screen for sure.
Okay. There you go.
So like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's so cool. Like, going through my Facebook and I'm seeing, even nice, pictures of people supporting. I'm not seeing too much garbage stuff. Lots of live footage, which is pretty cool. A couple of the big groups have been kicked out again, but I mean, still seeing stuff like this. I mean, this is the big controversy. One of the big controversies was the Terry Fox. And there's hundreds of photos of stuff being draped on Terry Fox from previous events that have occurred in Ottawa before. And like, literally, the people that were on the ground, I guess they just didn't realize that they were doing something that was, disrespectful, because, it is what it is for whatever reason. But I have video.
I was hearing they were like, defiling these statues and stuff. It doesn't look like that to me.
No, so I can show you photos of this statue. So this statue here, what happened was they had like a Canada flag draped on them and a hat, basically. And within like that night, there was two people that volunteered to keep watch of it. And I have video footage of people hand washing it clean, like completely clean.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but the mainstream media never showed any of the videos of people cleaning it up or nothing like that.
Also, the city of Ottawa, right? Like, and around the truckers, like, they're keeping that city, they're keeping it clean.
Jeez.
This is peaceful. I love it.
It's crazy.
Talk a little bit about that. If you know some more about that.
Well, let's go down here. We'll just go down and I'll show you. This is my own personal profile, but I mean, videos of people, all sorts of stuff coming together. This kind of past couple of days has been a little bit weird, but for paid posts, but I'll go back a couple of days. So, I mean, pictures of kids, and here's the horses, videos of horses, right? Like videos of horses, the funny memes, the big trucks.
Is it like a 500 horse, like at what was it, like the Coots Saloon or something?
I think I have a photo of it. Yeah, there's some, like, in here. There's some photos.
500 horses. Then they came.
Like, look at them. Look
at them. I love horses.
Look at this.
Beautiful.
This is Alberta. The reinforcements are coming, right? Yeah, here's a video of it.
Love that. Can you turn the sound on? Oh, you just look at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think I have the sound set up to go to the audio for you.
That's okay. I see a bunch of horses, and they look like they're not beating each other up.
Yeah, I might be able to play with the sound here. Give me a sec. Where is this going to?
Just the bottom. Just the very bottom right of your video screen. See the little thing with the X by it.
No, I don't think you're gonna hear it.
I see the mute thing on your screen, on your video screen.
Oh, there's a mute button on the screen itself?
Yeah, open that screen back up.
Oh, where are we here? On this audio router here?
The one you just had up.
No, I don't know. It's not, nothing's muted on this thing. I'm running it through auto router. I wasn't kind of like, I kind of winged it for today. I'll be more prepared next time. But just going on. I mean, like, look at this. This is, this is the kind of activities that are happening at night. Right?
I can come be a butterfly.
Right? Like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Right? And here's the horses again.
Horses.
Where are we here? We'll go down.
Yeah.
People dancing. Like, this was, I think, Toronto.
The audio that I've heard, you guys, that I've heard, is there's not a bunch of cussing and fighting and racist slurs. It is go Canada, smiles, love, stay peaceful. That's what I've heard.
There's a troublemaker for you.
Oh man, you better watch out for that one. She's gonna beat you with her cane.
Yeah.
She looks so sweet. I want to be there.
Yeah, there's more horses.
Full of supplies.
This was at the Canadian, or this was at the BC border, I believe. Yeah, this is into, and then this was the other night. They had like a guy in a Santa outfit that was dancing away. Like
Watch out,
this is. Here you go.
Whoa, that's a good picture there.
That's at the Coutts border crossing. So as you can see, it's not just truckers. This is people that believe in freedom. Yeah.
Yeah, let that play for a second.
You can't even put some of this stuff into context, my brother. It's just so overwhelming.
I don't see like cops, and I don't see like a bunch of violence or anything like that.
I saw one alteration where the police decided that they were going to push, and the people stood and just chanted like "Oh Canada" or something and pushed them all back. And that was the only confrontation I've seen so far. And I've gone through like hundreds of videos. Yeah, that's great. That's pretty cool. Hey, you like that? That's at the border, supporting the truckers.
We're gonna wrap up here. I just want to
look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at that smile.
He looks like he's angry.
He looks really happy. Right?
He looks happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are happy. I mean, you guys in Canada have been dealing with this lockdown for way too long. I am not surprised, and I'm like, wow, why did it take this long? Look at that.
Okay.
Hey, go on the speed limit.
Okay.
It's not over to drive.
Okay. If you're not vaccinated in BC, you're not allowed to go to the public amenities like the swimming pool. You're not allowed to go to a restaurant. You're basically not allowed to do like pretty much anything, like if you're not vaccinated. And then everybody that's around you is pushing you to be vaccinated. The pressure is just insane, like comes from all sides. And then if you ask anybody what the ingredients of the vaccine are, even your prime minister or your health officer, they won't tell you what the secret sauce is. They just literally won't tell you. So it's kind of a weird situation.
I played a dossier, a video with Senator Johnson here.
He did some good stuff.
That thing was really good with Peter McCullough and Dr. Cole and all these people. They're doing what they can to get it out there. The mainstream media is just silencing people, taking Joe Rogan's stuff off the internet, like just deplatforming. Frauding. It's frauding, and it's silencing, and it's against our Second Amendment rights completely. No, I just want to encourage America to stay strong, and Canada. So what happened there? What was that, Brew? What was that photo of?
There's the photo. This is like some alleged photo of Justin Trudeau saying that the convoy to Ottawa 2020 thing needs to stop. They're dividing Canada, and we need to be united. Everyone knows I'm Prime Minister, that it's about unity and inclusion. Please help do your part and make this stop. If you have a family or friend, it's something about getting them vaccinated. It was
so basically they're saying that post was untrue on that phone. Whatever.
Yeah, they've got this fact checker here. It kicks you in and says, "Did Justin Trudeau say that?" And then who knows? I can click this one actually to see what it actually does. But usually, here's check your fact. This is a really good. I trust check your fact 100%. Like, come on now. Well, it says it's false. So the office says that it's false, so it must be false. Right? Like, I don't get that one.
So, like, those that are watching, like, they may be thinking, well, Robert, you got to be careful. They may deplatform you. Well, you know what? I don't fucking care. They can go ahead and try to do that.
There would be a lot of people upset if they deplatform you because, I mean.
Well, and plus, we're streaming live to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube right now. Facebook can do their thing. LinkedIn can do their thing. I don't have anything against LinkedIn. I'm not saying anything bad about Facebook because I don't want them to really censor me too much. But we got to understand the stuff that we're seeing in the mainstream media is mostly not the truth. It is the incorrect narrative. That's why I try to bring people on from actually around the globe that can explain what they're going through. I'm going to have Jen on here sometime soon. She's in Australia. They're doing amazing things there too, Robert.
Everyone's working their part. So here's one of the groups I have on Facebook. It's a housing for rent for locals group. And basically there's 15,000 members in this group, or 14,000 members. If we go down to the engagement and growth, let's check out the engagement. So this month we've got 1,000 posts, and it's the posts have been viewed 131,000.
This is your strongest. What page is this?
This is a housing group that I formed like 9 years ago, or 5-6 years ago, And then if we go into here, there's another one. This is the buy and sell. So let's see what it says here for about. So this group here, it's got 35,000 members, and we started this one 7 years ago. Okay. And this is a buy and sell. So it's like before Marketplace ever came on. And if we go down to growth and engagement, so we've got 20,000 active members. And let's look at engagement. Where are we here?
Where do you get all this cool information?
Well, this is my group. I've been running it for 7 years, so I know the stats.
So
right? It gives me the insights.
How do you?
So,
it gives you stats. You have to show me how to do that.
So yeah, so the last 28 days, we've got 19,495 posts regarding buy and sell. We've got 20,000 active members, and so basically, like a standard buy and sell post is going to be like, some yoga mats or some crash pads for rock climbing, some old equipment. Stuff that would sometimes often go to the garbage dump because people don't necessarily have enough to, warrant having a garage sale, and especially with COVID, they couldn't. So this
what are you trying to get at here? I'm forgetting. I'm not missing it. What are you trying to say?
This is a buy and sell group that's helping out. So basically, it's just something.
Oh, they're helping out.
Oh, yeah, okay. A free service, and we've kept thousands of pounds of stuff away from the garbage dump and saved people, hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is 7 years of this group. Yeah. And then there's another group. These are all groups that I run, but there's a job seekers group here. So this was another locals group. It has 6,000 members. And in all of my groups, I've been playing the dirty, and I've been releasing free energy videos. So like this video here.
That'll get you in trouble too.
No, this one's been taken. Like this one doesn't have no copyrights on it. So this motor here, he threw it in. He built it. It runs power itself, but he put it in this car. See there? It's in the motor in the car.
Oh, cool.
And he drives around that thing. And then I've been even going further, just for giggles, just to show that we love everyone. And like this one here is a air powered car. So here is a carbon fiber collection around it.
Oh, wow.
And there's the chassis. No gas, no battery, just air. And there's like lots of models like that. So I've been shedding that around. World meters so that people can have access to these numbers, and they're all in that link that I gave you there. There's a whole collaboration of stuff.
I'll pull that up.
Free energy devices is kind of cool. I showed you that. Where are we here? This is a recent bylaw that we just challenged. The District of Squamish was trying to charge our taxpayers $16 million on this particular project without giving us any real background information on it. So yeah, we've been try to do your best for your community. And I don't mind coming and hang out with you once in a while. I like talking about the trucking stuff because it's so nice.
Robert, so I do want to keep it under 45 minutes because it's just something I need to concentrate on because I lose a lot of.
What do you want to talk about next?
Well, I would like to talk about, we can have other shows that are like labeled different things.
Oh yeah.
But when we're talking about Truckers Against Mandates, we'll keep it on Truckers Against Mandates. And I love you, Canada. Alaska supports you 100%. Everybody, please stay strong together. Understand that when you hear something on mainstream media, just don't take it for fact. Do your research. Reach out. Go to Clubhouse. Talk to people that are actually there. Just look out. Okay, look out for yourself and look out for your neighbors. Remember, also, this is not a protest against vaccinated. This is not a protest against anti-vaccinated. This is not anti-vax protest. This is against mandates. This is holding on to our freedom. The government has too much control. Trudeau has got to go. Okay. Anything else you want to shout out here? 1 minute. Go ahead. 1 minute. I'm step away.
No, I just shout out to all the truckers that are doing their job and taking care of their families. I think the idea is the family's extended. It's a bit of everybody. People are kind of upset about not being able to see their loved ones, not be able to being told how many people can come to their funeral. Their families, missing. People are missing a lot of moments And I think that it's time that we get a proper plan put forward so that we don't miss any more of these moments, kind of thing, right? So, yeah.
Love you, Fran.
Yeah, my idea is I would like to see that the mandates ended and rolled back, and a proper inquiry of the whole project and the whole process, so that if something like this ever happened in the future, we definitely don't make the same mistakes again. The unintended consequences of this COVID response has been, I don't even know if we're going to know how much stuff, but I mean, just the World Health Report said 2.2 billion or 2.7 billion people didn't have access to healthy food. And they're saying that 22% of the children under the age of 5 are going to have health issues because of not having proper nutrition. And
You're right.
That's something
we can talk about this.
That's another topic and another day, but
and we got all kinds of time.
Yeah.
So like this specific episode, we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, Robert, hang out. We'll be in the studio here. We can talk about recap and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
You guys, love y'all. Inspire Nation's out. Take care.
See y'all later.